Hola, hola, bienvenidos al Truck Boss Show. Let's get this show started. Today's 411, we're going to be going down memory lane with our favorite guys, Matt and Joey, drivers not delivering, TBS and OTR partner for a special pandemic offer, a big raise in insurance costs, Kenworth donation, and our guy Brad on part 1 of autonomous trucks. Now, are you tired of seeing and hearing all the negativity that's going all over the place? Well, so are we. But our funny duo, our favorite guys, are taking us down memory lane, reminding us why they joined trucking and why they continue doing it. Matt and Joey, let the good times roll.
Bro, you gonna make it over there? Yeah, Joey. It's just, it's a lot. It's a lot going on right now in this world, and it's just weighing on me. Oh, come on, man, toughen up a little bit. You're always telling me to stay motivated, be happy, smile, think of the bigger picture, think on the bright side. Well, it's time to start taking your own advice, No, I know, but dude, this whole year, I mean, it's not even. We're like 6 months in, and it's not. I mean, bro. I mean, come on. You gotta admit, it's a little overwhelming. Yeah, but you know what? You're right. It is, but it could always be worse. Why don't you think about all of the good times we've had so far out here on the road? Think about all the people that we've inspired with these crazy videos. Think of all the cool stuff we saw. You know what? Yeah.
Oh, the good times. They sure do know how to bring up our spirit. Thank you guys for reminding us why trucking is so awesome. Carlin, tell us why some drivers are not wanting to deliver to certain cities.
Thanks, Isela. As protesters continue to speak out against police brutality, the call for defunding police departments grows louder. Now, many of you, the drivers, aren't too happy about that and have voiced it online. In fact, CDL Live posted a poll last week asking if you all would carry loads to cities with defunded police departments. And of the more than 1,200 respondents, almost 80% said no. Now, some of the responses CDL Live received from drivers included posts saying, quote, "Most places we go already can be dicey, and about the only time you see a cop is when lights are behind you." And quote, "For my own safety and the security of my customers' loads, I have already informed my dispatcher that I will refuse all loads to cities that have defunded their police departments." Now, while many think defunding police departments is the same as dissolving them, that's a common misconception. Defunding the police means lowering their budget and moving money to different social institutions to help communities instead of policing them. Now, many cities are still deliberating their next move. While some are seriously debating whether or not to defund their police departments, others, like NYC and LA, are already decreasing budgets and moving money to resources like social and youth programs. Now back to Isela, who has an awesome opportunity to tell you guys about.
We know it's hard times out there for our nation's truckers, but we also know every dime counts. Here's a program that will help independent truckers minimize the risk of non-payment from fly-by-night, slow pay, or no-pay brokers and shippers. Two of our nation's top factoring companies, TBS Factoring Service and OTR Capital, have teamed up to offer a one-of-a-kind program for truckers who are not currently factoring their receivables. The highlights of the limited offer are a 2.5% flat rate, non-recourse program with no UCC filing fees, no origination or hidden cost of any kind, and you can cancel at any time with no cancellation fee, providing your account has no open AR. You'll get the full benefit of free credit checks, a free load board, and most importantly, the guarantee of getting paid quick, fast, and in a hurry. What could be better? The program rolled out this week. If you're interested in this special program, we'll post a link below, so check it out. Carlin, back to you.
Thanks, Isela. You guys have seen it firsthand. The United States has a major infrastructure emergency. Well, lawmakers are trying to fix that with the latest reauthorization of the FAST Act, known as the Invest in America Act. The 5-year, almost $500 billion surface transportation bill made it through the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee with a rather problematic amendment. This amendment more than doubles the amount of insurance coverage a truck owner must have from $750,000 to $2 million. As I'm sure you already know, this is a ridiculous amount of money and could put many small trucking companies out of business because they just can't afford to stay open. But that's not all. Many insurance companies won't even be able to offer that amount of coverage in the first place. Now, before the addition of the amendment, OOIDA supported the bill, especially the increased funding for highway construction, funding for truck parking, and rules to limit detention time. But now that the amendment has been added, OOIDA announced it will not support its current form. Now, the bill must be approved by the full House before heading to the Senate, so be sure to voice your opinions and let your representatives and senators know. Now back to Isela with an awesome gift for some veteran drivers.
We appreciate our veterans and celebrate and show them some love for our freedom, but Kenworth have stepped it up. Kenworth has joined Fastport and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation, hiring our heroes for the 5th year to discover America's top rookie military veteran driver, who served in the U.S. Armed Forces and later became a professional truck driver for commercial fleet. According to Fastport president, the mission is to educate and inform veterans about career opportunities in the nation's trucking industry. Kenworth is providing the top award 20 Transition Trucking Driving for Excellence recognition program. They are getting a brand spanking new Kenworth T680. Laura Block, spokesperson for Kenworth, stated that is one way to show appreciation as Kenworth recognizes the importance of supporting our veterans. Carlin?
We've all seen the headlines talking about autonomous trucks, and while there are many who think it's a ways off, it's a lot closer than you think. Our regulations correspondent Brad Kuhn breaks down where autonomous trucks are today in part 1 of our 3-part series.
In 2005, a driverless Volkswagen Touareg named Stanley won a $2 million prize by becoming the first autonomous vehicle to successfully navigate the 132-mile DARPA Grand Challenge. Experts say there's a bounty estimated to be in the trillions of dollars awaiting the winners of the next big challenge, delivering driverless vehicles to the marketplace. Big money is betting on the automation of the trucking industry, where analysts say technology will eliminate $100 billion in annual costs, primarily from the elimination of drivers. The Truck Boss Show took a deep dive into this critical issue to give our readers a clearer picture of what's happening, who's at risk, and what truckers can do to prepare for the road ahead. In this segment, the first in a series, we explore the current landscape and why some truckers are worried.
Automated vehicles have the potential to save thousands of lives annually and improve the quality of life through reduction of traffic congestion, increased productivity, and environmental benefits as well.
Productivity, of course, means doing more with less, and that means the elimination of some trucking jobs.
I think some of those who are driving specialized equipment, who are in real niche markets where they've got specialized skills, I'm not really that concerned about their future prospects. I think, those are generally drivers that the technology is going to take long enough to get into the market that they'll retire long before this stuff is going to be operational in those segments. Those individuals who are out taking dry van and refrigerated freight as a backhaul and might be mixing it up with some bigger carriers in terms of competition, that's where I think the concern really is what's going to happen to those markets, right? If a Swift or a Prime or someone like that is able to adopt these self-driving trucks in really important lanes that right now, let's face it, the individual owner operator, they're not competitive in those lanes, right? They're not going to be going head to head with Swift and Prime for loads, but they may need some of that freight as a backhaul here and there that they're getting through a broker, whatever it is. What's going to happen to that general market, right? And those rates if we have these self-driving trucks? There are a couple ways that this could play out. If the big carriers have their way, I would say, the most likely future is one which I call autopilot. So you have an inexperienced driver. Maybe they're a typical driver for a Swift or Prime. They've got 6 months of experience, right? You put them through a training school. A couple weeks later, they're behind the wheel of a rig, moving actual freight. They do that local driving. They close the trailer doors. Truck takes over, drives itself, for 6, 8, 10 hours. That driver then, gets behind the wheel again, finishes the load. That's, a situation which I don't think would be desirable for most of these inexperienced drivers, but it looks a lot like the system does today. But what you get out of that is that increased asset utilization. So you're not constrained by that, the hours of service the way that they are. And when we look at these trucks in these big fleets right now, maybe they're driving 7.5, 8 hours a day of revenue generating miles. That's all they're getting, 1/3 of the day. The other third, the truck is a hotel room on wheels, right? And the other third, the driver's unpaid, doing, paperwork, inspecting, waiting to be loaded and unloaded, right? So really poor efficiency, right? That's one of the consequences of cheap labor in this segment. So that's one scenario. Now, what does that do, for length of haul, right? It increases what you can capture from rail, but also what you can capture from some of these owner operators who are getting more hours. And then the second model is really something that's truly driverless, right? And in this one, you have that human driver come out, right? And they're basically a local driver. They come out to a spot near the interstate, they uncouple from the trailer, and you have something that looks like these really futuristic trucks without even a cab, right? That picks it up, transports it 400 miles, and then your human-driven truck comes out and gets. That's kind of the two major modes. Both of those, what they mean for owner-operators is, that general market, the rates are going to go down. And that's the big concern that I have for that segment of the market, for sure.
Mike Landis, CEO of the U.S. Transportation Alliance, says most of the elected officials he's talked to have already made up their minds in favor of automation.
Most of Washington is behind this, whether they put it out to the public or not, that they are.
8 states have already approved autonomous truck testing, and the U.S. Department of Transportation has earmarked $60 million in 2020 alone for autonomous vehicle research and data collection. Cars and trucks are already being equipped with forward collision avoidance systems, automatic braking, and blind spot elimination. And one developer has already applied for an hours of service exemption for vehicles equipped with their autopilot technology. Even roads are being adapted and connected to vehicles and traffic controllers via new 5G towers. Road signs are being embedded with machine-readable QR codes, and lane lines are being marked with materials designed to be picked up by sensors. Tune in next week for part 2 of our series, in which we'll examine some of the autonomous trucking projects already underway and the timeline for a nationwide rollout. For the Truck Boss Show, I'm Brad Kuhn. I'll see you down the road.
That's pretty awesome. And of course, that is just part 1 of our 3-part series there with Brad on autonomous trucking. Next month, be sure to tune in because he's going to be talking a little bit about how autonomous trucks are going to impact the industry over the next decade. So he's really going to dive in, talk to a lot of more experts, and of course, you guys, the drivers, to kind of see how autonomous trucking is really going to impact your daily lives.
It's going to be really interesting. So I hope
sure.
you don't miss out. Now, for this week's extra, which is tomorrow, we're going to be having our girl, Lady Truckin', Jacinda Duran, who is going to be showing us how to hook it up in the cab, eat a healthy meal. And of course, thanks to our friends over at Road Pro for hooking us up with this awesome product. But she has a little stove, the food, everything prepped
Full
out.
setup.
And she does. It's like a whole buffet there. But the girl's going to show you how to get it done. So don't miss out tomorrow's extras.
That's right. And if you guys have been looking at our Facebook, I'm sure you saw the post from our boy Tony Justice. He is back in the studio after a little bit of a hiatus. Of course, everyone has been on a little bit of a hiatus thanks to COVID. But he's back in there, he's making some music, and guess who gets to be a part of it? These people right here, the Truck Boss Show. That's right. So, in the next few weeks, we're going to have more information rolling out for you, telling you about his next album a little bit, maybe giving you a teaser or two of a new song. So be sure to tune in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, because you won't want to miss these updates we got from our boy Tony.
No, he's our BFF.
That's
not
right.
He's our BFF. So yeah,
BFF.
he's always gonna, he always rocks it out, gives a good time, good show, good music. Like, you cannot, why not?
Exactly.
Tony.
So, of course, remember to like, share, subscribe, all this fun stuff, so that way we can keep bringing you this awesome information, and of course, some Tony Justice sprinkled in here and there. So you don't want to miss that. But we do this because you guys are
The boss.